You want fun? Wario show you fun.
The most iconic hub world in gaming for a lot of people is Princess Peach's castle in Super Mario 64. There's just something magic about its hallowed halls. Picking it up today and running around through its corridors is a nostalgia trip, as you run parallel to the ghost Marios of your childhood that took those same steps decades ago. While this rush of childhood bliss overtakes you, it's easy to forget just how weird this place really is, just how creepy and eerie it is. If Super Mario 64 had a day and night cycle, I'd absolutely nope the heck out of that front door before night set in. The place is obviously haunted given that the basement and courtyard are festering with ghosts. It doesn't help that there's a demonic portrait in the basement too. But despite my drive to flee, that feeling is why we are here today, to discuss the mystery and odd nature that Princess Peach's castle holds. From secret corridors, to sealed rooms, to the unexplained discrepancies in the build of the castle. This is the mystery of the Castle Plexus in Super Mario 64. Enjoy. Recently, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the Super Mario 64 Iceberg floating around the internet. It essentially outlines a lot of mysteries surrounding the game. From new discoveries, to odd developer inclusions, to the far depths of Creepypasta land. Deep below this iceberg, on the lowest rung on this tiered chart, are the most bizarre things associated with Super Mario 64. And that's where the internal plexus of the castle is derived from. And honestly, it's a pretty complex topic. So we're going to dive into the deep end immediately and swim our way back up. By Merriam-Webster definition, a plexus can be defined in two ways. 1. A network of anastomosing or interlacing blood vessels or nerves. And 2. An interwoven combination of parts or elements in a structure or system. In the dark depths of Creepypasta land, many people believe definition 1 ties into the aspects of the Super Mario 64 experimental AI that adapts to the player's consciousness. I briefly touched on the aspect of the AI in my video about personalization and the 1995 build of Super Mario 64 for those who are unfamiliar. In this sense, the castle is very much alive and conforms to each person individually, choosing to share or withhold its secrets from you, but adapting to you regardless if you're aware of it or not. The most notable area in this Plexus hive mind is of course the basement, where the Wario apparition resides, or so they say. Coming up for a breath of air and shelving the creepypasta aspect, we move on to the more grounded second definition. This refers to the build of the castle itself and how it is all connected, and quite frankly, how it's an impossible feat. Many years ago, my buddy Stowgee, who's a co-host of my second channel Swanky Zone, set out to build a Nintendo-themed land in Minecraft. This was before creative mode was a thing, but he ended up trying to build Princess Peach's castle. Really quickly, it became very apparent that it was very difficult to try to fit the actual interior inside of the shape of what is passed off as the exterior. Even at a glance within the game, we can certainly tell that none of it lines up. Video game logic has always passed off small exteriors with insanely massive interiors. Banjo-Kazooie comes to mind, as do other titles, so it's no surprise that Peach's castle follows the same hammer space-like principle. Some people even took it the extra mile like modern Skelux, who overlaid the outer castle with the interior, and you can see it is certainly well beyond the scope of the exterior. But the size discrepancy is really only the start of what makes this whole castle baffling, because given the scaling of the castle, there's quite a lot of lost space within it. For example, lots of players have noted that the stained glass where Princess Peach appears from doesn't align with the interior. There is unaccounted space between where the stained glass window protrudes from outside and where it appears inside. In fact, it's a pretty large sized room that is as deep as the overhang area that's across the bridge. Many people believe this is where Princess Peach is trapped until you free her, but this room hints at something bigger about this mysterious castle, and that is how most of the castle itself is off access. The castle itself doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it feels more like an art gallery than an actual castle. But given what we are presented, it goes to show that we are really only exploring a small part of it. Have you ever been outside in front of the castle, just admiring its polygonal beauty and just thought, wait, why does this have windows? Literally, there are windows everywhere, but not a single window inside. Well, I guess we have Peach's stained glass windows, but like, none of these exterior windows show up in the castle. We can even see them on the game box art too. But what if the castle itself had an exterior living area that surrounded the interior? A series of hallways and rooms that, well, you know, define this place as actually livable and hospitable. Like a true chic art gallery, perhaps the doors are hidden in the walls. There could be bedrooms and all sorts of other rooms that have furniture, you know? Because like, this castle has zero furniture. It's like someone spent all the money on art and totally forgot about that part. Well, I guess there's one piece of furniture, a mini haunted chair inside of a birdcage, but I digress. Those windows have to be shining in somewhere beyond these walls. Maybe if we just had a door here we can... Oh, nope. Mario was just eaten by the wall. Well, that's cursed. even the stained glass windows in the secret side area have to be somewhere. I mean, granted, one is hiding a giant dimensional side, but it's almost as if these windows are just still within the overarching interior of the castle since they aren't seen from the outside. A room within a room. What's interesting is this room is converted to a rec room in Super Mario 64 DS, but if you were to clip through the wall, you will see that the room itself is still intact. A sealed area that no one can access. It definitely reminds me a lot of all the weird spaces behind loading zones. I imagine a lot of you fell victim to the cruel nature of this castle if you managed to fall behind the front door to it. Forever trapped in a black void, a gap between dimensions. When exploring the nature of doors a few years ago and trying to reach Super Mario 64's deadliest door, the door within the reflection world upstairs, I felt like Mario had stumbled upon the edge of reality, looking outwards across nothingness to see aspects of the castle normally never viewed from this perspective. Going back to the whole creepy aspect of the Plexus, there definitely is something odd going on here. I mean, there's literally an infinite set of stairs on the top floor as the castle repeatedly morphs around you. Talk about the castle adapting to you personally. Now, I've talked about this in other videos, but all of this gets a bit even more creepy when you take into consideration the legacy of this castle. After the events of Super Mario 64, we have to consider that Super Mario Odyssey forbids us access to the old parts of the castle we are used to. They are sealed off, hidden behind a remodel, and only the shell of the lobby remains. I mean, if you had a creepy Wario head floating around in your forever flooded basement, I suppose the only thing to do would be to seal that cursed crap beneath the castle and let it talk about fun for all of eternity. The plexus of the castle is really a broad, complex topic that can be addressed in many different ways. It's a mere speck on the iceberg, but thoughtfully placed due to its scope. But to truly understand the plexus, first we have to talk about parallel universes. And I know you're tired of hearing that by now, but seriously, we need to chat about warping into other worlds and even time travel, because yes, it all technically plays a part. Princess Peach's castle somehow ties it all together from a lore perspective, and I've been documenting it for years now in my early Mario videos. Also, there's a room called the Bowser Room. Don't go there under any circumstances. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Super Mario 64 confusion. Thanks for watching, guys and gals, and until my next video, cheers.